afternoon, Blue Devil fans, and welcome to the 4th edition of the 2013 Central Connecticut Softball Show. I'm Tommy Mead, here with head coach Jeff Franquet. Coach, you had a tough weekend down at Hofstra. You ran into one of the truly elite pitchers in the game, and you also had a bit of bad luck. Why don't you tell us about the weekend?
Yeah, obviously, you play a top 20 team in the country, and Olivia Galati, as I said last week, the kid is arguably one of the top 5 or 10 players in the country and an All-American. She's actually coming off an ankle injury and still is one of the top 10 players in the country. She's not hitting, she's just pitching, but when she's healthy, she hits and pitches. And we just didn't, we started the day off, of course, and this is my book, you know, and if you drop a pop-up foul, that's an error. And so we had 7 errors in the first 2 innings, and we were down 9-0 after the first 2 innings to Hofstra. The chances of us coming back were probably as close to slim to none as possible. And in the second game, we rebounded and played really, really well against UConn, winning 6-3 with 2 outs with Laura on the mound. And it was one of those things. I've been playing baseball since I've been 5 years old, so for 40 years, I have never witnessed this in my 40 years of being around the game. They had 7 hits in a row with 2 outs and scored 5 runs, and we ended up losing 8-6. So that was a tough game to swallow because we literally outplayed them, and Laura threw really well, and it was just one of those things that happen in the game of softball. And that, you know, they make that old cliche that it's not over till the last out or the 42nd out, and that certainly was the case. And to UConn's credit, they played Hofstra earlier, and they were down by, I think they were down 8 or 9 runs to Hofstra, and I think UConn scored 5 or 6 runs in the 7th inning of that game and almost came back to beat Hofstra. And then we, you know, the second game, we came back Sunday, and kind of the same stuff happened to us, some errors and untimely hitting. Kat Malcolm, that kid is just smoking the ball all over the place. I shared a story with a couple people earlier this week. She came up with runners on first and second the UConn game. She hit the ball so hard, it literally knocked the second baseman's glove up. The ball shot up in the air. The kid barehanded it, threw it to first, and doubled Ariel off first base. I mean, that's kind of the type of things that have been happening to us a little bit. And Kat's outs are, I mean, they're just, it's what you talk about, and you know, being a baseball guy, is just have a quality at bat. If you hit the ball hard somewhere, that's a good at bat. And every at bat, even her strikeouts, she's going down swinging out of her shoes, and that's what we preach. So, you know, we talked to the kids about it after Sunday and a couple times this week. It's all about this coming weekend, and you know, we're going into season 2, which is this weekend, and really that's all that matters, Tommy.
Now, Coach, you mentioned it. This is what you've been building up for this coming weekend. You start conference play, you trip down to Wagner on Saturday, and then at LIU on Sunday. LIU has been the premier program in the NEC for a long time. What do you expect this weekend? Well,
it's going to be a battle. I've told the kids, you know, you look at their records, LIU's 4-25. Probably 25 of their losses are against top-notch, legit teams. LIU's been playing since the 2nd week in February. And Wagner, I think, is 4-15, I think, or 4-19, something like that. But, you know, it's a couple-run game last year against Wagner. You're going down there. It's a tough place to play. It's windy. It's, you know, both games are on the road. When you look at the records, you can't pay attention to records in Northeast. It really, when it comes down to it. LIU was about the same last year, and they win the conference. You know, I mean, they end up with 20-25 wins a year, and 15 of them are in the conference. It's going to be a tough weekend, and we expect that they're going to be at they're going to be ready to play, and we need to be ready to play. And obviously, your ultimate goal, if you can come back 4-0 in a conference weekend, you had an unbelievable weekend, because it is extremely difficult to get on a bus, go down, play, come back, get on a bus again, play, and come back 4-0. Do we have the ability to do that? No question. You know, if we come back 3-1, fantastic, really fantastic. And I've told the kids from day one, and I've looked at the pattern of who has made the conference tournament in the last 8 or 10 years. If you get in that 12, 13 win range, you're pretty much in the conference tournament. And that's our goal. I don't care if we finish first or fourth, doesn't matter. Put us in the conference tournament, get us in a situation where we can play one game a day with Laura and our offense. We'll match up against anybody, one game a day. So it's, you know, we need to get 2, 3, 4 wins this weekend to go towards our goal of that 12 or 13. 13 happens to be my lucky number, so it works out. You know, if we get 13, I think we're in the tournament. And you know, this is going to be a common theme for me until we make that tournament. You know, we have a shot to win 3 or 4 games this weekend if we play well, and we're swinging the bats very well. I have no complaints there. It's just we got to shore up our defense, and you know, we certainly got to make sure our pitching is on top. And if that's the case, we'll have a very good weekend.
Coach, you mentioned your pitching. Why don't you specifically tell us what your plan is this weekend with your starters?
Certainly, I have no problem. I have no problem addressing this, and I certainly, you know, I tell our pitchers, if we're throwing a curveball and our catcher's set up where we want to throw it, if you make a good pitch, you're going to get an out. It's that simple. And I feel that way with saying Laura's our #1 pitcher. There's no question about it. Nicole has been she's been a godsend as far as eating some innings up this year, and she's done a fantastic job, and Jordan's thrown pretty well. But there's no question that Laura will start all 4 games, and you know, hopefully if we get a lead, I can take Laura out and rest her a little bit. Nicole would be our next option, and then Jordan. But Laura is definitely going to start all 4 games. That's what she's here for. I told her 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago when I was recruiting her, she's going to win us a conference championship. The ball's going to be in her hands to get ready and go for it. And I told her yesterday at practice that she's going to start all 4 games. She had a smile ear to ear, and you know, I think she's ready to get the job done. And certainly, offensively, defensively, when she's on the mound, it is by far our best lineup, 1 through 10. And at this point of the season, we have to go with our best 1 through 10 to get the job done, to get to that magic number of getting in the conference tournament. So Laura will throw a lot, and she'll have all next week to rest and get after it again the following Friday against Bryant here. So, you know, Laura's innings will pick up dramatically in the next month and a half.
Coach, thanks for joining us. Good luck this weekend.
Thanks, Tommy.